Hi there, welcome to another Airbrush Noob, where we are going to work on the swords of my Wraith Guard. And so it was suggested by you guys to do a green glass effect, kind of like in Eldar Scrolls. And I kind of like that idea, and it was kind of where I was initially thinking of going anyway. I did want to have green on the blades, but I really didn't want to have, like initially with this guy, his blades were like a solid green with a gradient running down, and I wasn't happy with like a solid kind of green look. And so I'm thinking now, I'm going to come in, I'm going to hit some of these swords that have some extra kind of like red on them, just from overspray and such. I'm just going to clean them up a bit, and then we are going to begin laying out the beginnings of creating a green glass effect on the model. And so I'm going to get started with some Abaddon Black, and basically that's where we're going to go from there. Pipettes are very handy when you're using Citadel color, mainly because pouring the color is just such a pain that I'm just rinsing out my and just like that, it's clean. Just takes a little bit of rinsing, but otherwise it's clean. So, let's move all of these models over this way so we don't get too much overspray on them. I'm using my chrome here, just because I want to stay nice and close to the model. And I just want to take care of some of this overspray. I'm not looking to go hog wild with this or anything like that. Especially with this blade, because it is pretty much solid black anyway. And so he is done. Let's go with this guy, because he's got his blade pointing outwards. It's very easy to get to these things. You see even on this blade here, you see quite a bit of red on the blade itself. And because we're going to be going away with green, that's going to kind of offset our colors that we use here, and so we don't want that. Save him. Save this guy. Somehow I even got blue on this guy's sword. A lot of the stuff we can come back in later on and pick out afterwards, closer to like the hilt and stuff like that, when we come back in with golds, which we will later on. Be very careful with this one here. The blades overlap the model. And so for that, we'll grab our little handy dandy plastic card and protect off the rest of the model like so. Straight downwards there. There we go. Tip's getting kind of kluggy. Still have yet to try the one suggestion that was told to me about using a big sponge for a dry tip. I've been meaning to give it a shot. I haven't, and I'm sorry. I can't remember who the heck it was now that had pointed that one out to me. And I thought it was an excellent idea, and I was meaning to give it a try, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But anyway, okay. So that's all the blades. There's still a little bit of black in there. I wonder if I can put that back in. Really, it's a small painting cup inside this chrome, but oh yeah, no, there's plenty of paint there to go back in. Okay, so I'm going to flesh this out, and we're going to come back in with the next colors to begin laying out the foundation for our ghostly green. Okay, so next I'm going to come in with some Mechanica Standard Gray, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it through this little mesh here. Now this is just some fine scenery, you know, foliage and stuff. That was for vines and stuff. But essentially you can get the same effect by taking like a scouring pad and spreading it out. I've been meaning to pick up another scouring pad for this effect, but haven't gotten around to doing that either. But I still use this thing here because again it gives me all these little nice little holes. You can kind of see, like, you can see kind of through it how it gives you just these, you know, kind of ghostly like appearances. And so that's what we're going to use. I'm going to use Mechanica Standard Gray to begin off the transition. I'm going to just go through grays, and then you'll see what we'll do afterwards. Just rinse out my dropper. Fresh water. And there we go. Nice and clean. So, first things first. Make sure we get good flow going here. No water. Looking pretty good. Let's grab a Wraith Guard. Let's move these guys over. So for overspray, watch out that ever-present overspray. Let's grab this guy first, I suppose. We'll use this, and we are pretty much going to spray, I think, the entirety of the blade. Or majority of it, anyway. Again, it's meant to be kind of random, so don't worry if some areas don't get as much coverage as some other areas. Again, it's supposed to be random, so I'm just trying to find a covered position that I can hold this and do this. I think I found it right there. Kind of like that. And I think that works. I don't know about you guys, but I think that friggin' works. I almost said a bad word there. I'm kind of liking it. I'm kind of digging it, as the guy says. Yeah. See, it's laying the foundation for the darker kind of in the darkness kind of wisps that will go, right? If you can kind of imagine where I'm going with this. Some of you can probably already see where I'm heading, but for some of you others, this will be a treat, I think. So you can kind of see how the patterning goes on. It's not really pattern, it's just more of a motley of color, as it were. Again, the real trick is just trying to find a comfortable position that I can spray this. I'm not gonna lie, kids, I kind of dig this. Let's go with the next model. Maybe if I had something that I can hold while holding this. Yeah, definitely liking that. Definitely. This is definitely winning for me. And I think the hilarious part is how fast it goes by, laying this effect down, I think, too. I think that's the funny part. Because it goes by relatively quickly. Sense a bit of dry tip going on here. Yep, but I'm definitely liking how that's looking on the blades right now. Once we get the next colors laid out, I think that'll be even more fun. Take care of some of this dry tip going on here. So, we just continue on. The last model will probably be this guy where the swords kind of cross over, just because he'll be a bit of a pain to do, but otherwise, so far, so good. Things really kind of kick ass, I think. I think also the trick really is not allowing a lot of the paint to build up as well onto the model surface, allowing some of that just like quick heavy areas to go. So much fun. This technique, I initially saw it on the Lester Bursley channel, Awesome Paint Job. I initially saw this one using a bit of scouring pad and getting this kind of ghostly wispy shapes. And I've done it before in other videos. I've shown this technique like Nagash and the Celestian Prime. I've shown this technique, but yeah, it is so much fun to do. Just looking for somewhere kind of fun here. See, the hard part becomes now these two blades here. That. And this one, I am going to have to put my brush down, grab my shield here, try not to scrape any of the paint, lay that out. There you go. Now the really tricky one is getting the inside portion of the blade. I think we'll fudge that just by getting just some of the tip of the blade here. Just like that. We'll fake it a little bit there. And so that's it for that. We will rinse out the brush and we'll move on to the next color. Okay, so brush is already cleaned out, ready to go with the next color, which is going to be white scar. Need some white scar here, and we're going to bring a nice bright edge to the swords. Now, I wanted to, initially, I'm thinking of doing it along the edge of the blade, but that might not work out, and so I might have to do just the tips of the blades. I don't know. I think the edge of the blades would be a lot more visually interesting, but you never know how this is going to go. Rinse out my dropper. There we go, nice and clean. Okay, so let's grab our first guy, our guinea pig all the time. This guy's gonna be last because he's got the swords crossing over. And so, yeah. Okay. Now, the tricky part. Getting the edge of the blade with this brush. She is going to be tricky. Make sure the paint's flowing properly. You know what? I should probably... yeah, you know what? I'm going to put a bit thinner in this. Just because it's throwing kind of chunky at me. So let's put a little bit thinner in. This is the Citadel air thinner that I'm using, which is called, what is it? Air cast thinner. How clever. But I've used it before on the models. It is a slightly different mixture than using something like Lemaine medium or anything like that. It's not the same kind of thing. And I need to stir this. Could backfeed it, but let's stir it up. See, we're stirring this up. It's really thin now. You can see it like on the edges of the jar here. It's like a really thin. Can't even say like it's milk. It's just so thin. But that's what we need. We need it to flow a lot thinner, especially because we want to lay this out onto the the surface, right? So. Hey. Come on, try tip. If it's not one thing, it's always another. Yeah, that's flowing a lot better now. Wee. So, let's get to work now. Kind of nervous now, but oh well. So basically, I'm going to lay the stencil down, and I'm going to aim beyond the sword, on the front edge of the sword, and that's where I'm going to be aiming. So I can try and catch some of this here, just the leading edge of the sword. I got my thumb basically over where the fist should be, so that I don't get too much paint on that. Not quite what I was imagining. Let's see here. Let's go for a thinner mesh. Let's go right here. Oops. Better, but still about the same, but I guess it's probably going to give me just the same kind of mottled effect, and I'm probably going to have to go in and give it an edge highlight, I think, just so that I can get that bright edge on the sword. And so I think that's going to have to do there. I'm just going to wipe this little dollop of paint up. Wipe it off the cup here. The cup's pretty full, so we got a lot of paint here to work with. So we can try and get this right. Interesting. So let's try it again. Let's try over here. And again, we're trying to spray in the forward edge. That was not bad. So let's try again. All we can do is keep trying, right? Not quite sharp as well on that one. No, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have to put a bright white edge highlight along the blade edge, just so that I get that nice bright edge like that. So I guess we'll just continue on like we did before and just build this color up, I guess. No, I think I'm better off doing it by brush. Probably should use my other white, my golden white. It flows a lot better than this Citadel stuff. Citadel white, for whatever reason, always flows kind of chunky on me. And something was telling me that I should have switched to my golden white. You can see how this is kind of stopping as it's flowing. That actually looks kind of cool like that. Interesting, anyway. So I'm not talking lots here, I'm just concentrating so much on my model here. So far though, I am getting a kick out of the blades look. Ooh, that one looks nice. Cool. Just having fun working out the patterns in here. There. All the sword's done. And I forgot the shield off, and it cost me because I hit the leg with some white. But that's okay. I'll fix that later. So, time to rinse this white out. Actually, maybe I'll go back and shore up some of the whites here. Right now I'm just spraying the leading edge of the blades just to kind of help with when I put a bright white line on it. Alright, time to flush. And let's get into the next color. So really quickly now, I'm going to grab a white scar. And this is the regular Citadel white scar. And I'm going to use a little bit of light medium, thin it down. And I need a big brush. Oh, I just cleaned my brushes. Where are they now? Is this my brush? think this is my brush. Yeah, this is my brush. Can't even tell. Slap a little bit onto the palette here. Rinse. Grab the medium. And so basically all we're doing is we're going to put a nice like edge highlight on each of the blades. That's all we're looking to do at the moment here. So let's grab Mr. Difficult. And let's edge highlight right down the blade. That's it. That's all we're looking to do. Right down the center there. See if we can get this side of the blade as well, so it glues. There we go. So that's it. That's all we're going to do is we're going to put that edge highlight right on the blade. Give it a nice gluiness. So again. So that's that real quick edge highlight. Grab another guy. Not to get too much paint on the blade. There we go. Paint's starting to dry up on the bristles. So you can tell the paint was drying up on the bristles. You can see there's white on the bristles there. Whenever that happens, I usually just end up using my fingernail, pull the excess dried paint off, and then just continue on. Okay, one left. Leave a little bit more white scar on my palette. Just the dampness of the brush to thin it out. edge highlights on all the blades. So next is going to be the fun part. Next we're going to grab, see again, a little bit of white paint on the end of the bristles. Just use your fingertips, just grab it off. No biggie. And so next for the blades is going to be, you guessed it, some tinting. We're going to use the Forge World colors, and we're going to use Mortarian Clear Green. This is going to be for all the blades. It's going to be fun. This one will be last because he's, troublesome. And yeah, you can already see like the blades already look nice and bright now. They got that ghostly edge to them, and then they have that fading going on in the background, which is a lot of fun. Okay, we're going to stick with our Renegade Chrome because it's just a small little cone of area of effect, and just so that there's not so much overspray flying all over the place. Grab our handy dandy dropper, and that's probably enough, but I'm going to grab a little more. Rinse. Grab some clean water. Whenever I'm rinsing, I have like 3 cups on the go here. I have one for rinsing the brushes, one for clean water, and then one for rinsing the airbrush itself. Oh, I gotta grab a paper towel here. And just because I've got a bit of green paint onto the table here, I don't really want it going anywhere else. So, let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. So let's grab the furthest one. So let's grab this one here. Okay. Now watch this. Look at that. That looks pretty snazzy to me. Of course, the more color we lay down, the darker it will go. But I kind of like leaving that edge kind of bright white like that, so I think we're going to leave that. Go for a deeper color at the back of the blade. Just like that. I think I really like that. Let's keep going. dry tip, of course. Grab our little shield, because we forgot to do it last time, just to protect the rest of the model from this color. And there we go. WraithBlade swords are done, as far as I can tell. Still lots of color left, so we'll pour it back into the pot. There we go. Flush, let those dry, and we'll come right back. Okay, so here we are with the swords all done. Excuse me. And I'm pretty sure they're all dry. So, as you can see here, I tried to leave that white edge when I was spraying the color tint down. And I am mostly happy with how the overall effect looks on the model. You get that color variation with mixing with the black and the grays and the white. And then you have that color variation along in there. Almost has like a jade feeling, which is kind of like, you know, the glass kind of look. I'm not entirely sure if I should put a white highlight along the back side of the blade. I'm kind of just digging right now how it kind of looks with like the white along the leading edge. Steve had mentioned it was kind of like a lightsaber thing, and I can kind of see it, but you know, I don't know. I might leave it as such. It all depends on how well the overall colors play. I was showing with this guy because this guy's the one with the edge highlights on his armor, versus these guys. These guys don't have the edge highlight on their armor yet. But as you can see, the swords have a bit of a glossiness, and I will gloss up the swords afterwards as well, because I will gloss the head of the armor. But I'm going to leave the armor of the model itself matte or satin, probably satin, just because like a little bit of light play on the model surface. But the helmets I see kind of glossy and kind of hard and slick. But that is the WraithBlades swords and all done. I'm kind of digging it. When I get around to doing wraiths with the axes, I'll probably do them the similar way. Wraith Lord with the sword, I'll probably do it the similar way. And you can bet your bottom dollar when I get a Wraith Knight, the sword will be done in exactly the same way. I think it will just look really, really cool. The giant green blade like that, just, you know. And I think what I'll be able to do better on the Wraith Knight blade is get that variation in the leading edge, and then having the deeper fade along the back of the blades. Kind of what I was after on these ones, but not so much. I mean, like it's all right, but I'm kind of fine with how it all looks. I mean, I could have came in with like a little black and did a little bit of overspray just there, and just kind of deepen up the back edges. But I'm kind of okay with how it all looks right now. I mean, it's, you know, they all have that glowy kind of look to them, which is what I was after. And so work will continue on these guys. I don't know if I'm going to be filming everything, because all I got to do is the loincloths now, edge highlight the rest of the armor, and I don't know if any decals are going to go on these guys. They may or may not. Oh, and the gemstones. The gemstones are probably going to do in blues. I may show that. Of course, let me know, guys, below what you guys think. If you know, just showing the rest of the process of what I do to get these guys done. Otherwise, you know, just show the end result. I don't know, but either way, leave a comment below if you've enjoyed this so far, and of course, if you want to see more. I'm not sure what the next project will be after I'm done these guys, but I'm sure we'll figure that out later on. And so, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.